Let's imagine this. You've been eyeing a new smartphone for quite some time now. Finally, your birthday comes around and you receive the exact phone you wanted. You spend a couple of hours playing around with the new device, but then something interesting happens. After the initial excitement wears off, you find yourself feeling strangely empty. The next day, you pull out your old phone and realize it still works perfectly well. You begin to question your decision. Was the upgrade really worth it? Did I really need the new phone? And more importantly, why do you keep making these impulsive buying decisions? Well, you're not alone in this situation. In fact, you've fallen into a sneaky psychological trap that influences all of us. This is the problem of hedonic adaptation. According to studies from Duke University, the pleasure hit you get from any new object or experience lasts only a few minutes, not days, weeks, or months. To put it simply, we quickly adapt to new things, losing interest and craving newer and better stuff. This pattern applies to everything from buying lottery tickets to committing to an exercise plan. Our brains are wired to chase instant gratification, delaying long-term rewards. But why? What drives us to keep falling into this cycle of instant pleasure, followed by disappointment? Welcome to the channel. Today, we explore the psychology behind why we buy things we do want need and what we can do to avoid it. Have you ever bought something you didn't really need just to feel good for a moment? Maybe it was late-night shopping, a fancy coffee, or the latest gadget. For a few minutes, you felt happy. But soon after, the excitement faded, and so did your money. That's not an accident, it's psychology. The truth is, most of us don't spend money logically. We spend emotionally. We buy happiness, we buy comfort, and sometimes we even buy status. But here's the problem. Emotional spending doesn't fix the real issue. It creates a cycle: spend, feel good, regret, repeat. And over time, this cycle quietly drains our wealth. So why does this happen? Because money is tied to feelings. Stress can push us to shop for relief. Loneliness can make us click add to cart. Even boredom can trigger unnecessary purchases. Companies know this. They design ads and sales strategies to play with your emotions, not your logic. That's why it feels so hard to resist. Think about it. How many times have you bought something on sale just because it was cheap, not because you needed it? Or how often have you ordered food delivery because you had a rough day at work? These little emotional choices add up, and before you know it, you're wondering where all your hard-earned money went. Now, let's talk solutions. How can you outsmart this emotional spending? Here are 4 steps you can take right now. 1. Use the 24-hour rule. Do you remember the last time you impulsively bought something? Maybe it was an item you saw online, or a piece of clothing you tried on in a store. You liked it so much that you decided to buy it right away. But what if we challenge that instinct? What if you waited 24 hours before making a purchase? At first, this might seem like a long time, especially if you're used to instant gratification. But think about the benefits. Waiting a day gives you time to reflect on whether you really need the item. It allows you to consider the cost and whether it aligns with your financial goals. Research has found that waiting can help reduce impulse buying. By giving yourself time to cool off, you can avoid making a purchase you'll later regret. So the next time you see something you want to buy, wait 24 hours. You can set a reminder to check back in a day and see how you feel then. Chances are, the urgency will fade and you'll realize you didn't need it after all. 2. Replace the habit. Let's be honest, we all have habits that we wish we could change. Maybe it's biting your nails or procrastinating on tasks. But did you know that habits are there to serve you? Habits are mental shortcuts that help us navigate daily life without having to think about every decision. They're like autopilot for our actions. But sometimes these habits can become problematic, like when they cause distress or interfere with our relationships or work. One common habit that many people struggle with is emotional eating. When we're feeling down, stressed, or bored, we might turn to food for comfort. It can feel good momentarily, but it often leads to feeling worse in the long run. So what can we do to change this habit? First, identify the emotions that trigger your unhealthy eating. Are you feeling stressed, bored, or lonely? Then find alternative ways to cope with those emotions. Go for a walk, listen to music, or reach out to a friend. Over time, you'll train your brain to seek out healthier habits when you're feeling emotional. Remember, it's all about finding the right balance and making conscious choices that align with your long-term well-being. 3. Track your emotional triggers. Imagine this. You're at the grocery store and you see a huge sale on your favorite snack. You know that you don't really need it, but you find yourself throwing it into your cart anyway. Before you know it, you spent way more money than you planned on, and you left with items you don't really need. What happened? Well, you fell into a classic marketing trap known as scarcity. Marketers use limited time offers and low quantities to create a sense of urgency, making you feel like you might miss out if you don't buy now. But it's all a clever strategy to trigger your emotional buying decisions. But you're not powerless against these tactics. The key is to become aware of your emotional triggers. These are the situations, feelings, or environments that cause you to make impulsive purchases. For example, do you feel tempted to buy more when you're stressed, bored, or happy? Once you understand what drives your emotional spending, you can develop strategies to overcome it. You might practice mindfulness, deep breathing, or positive self-talk to manage your emotions in the moment. You can also avoid triggering situations like online shopping when you're feeling low. No, redirect that money. It's easy to fall into the trap of spending money on things we don't need. Maybe it is a spontaneous coffee shop purchase during your lunch break, or buying the latest fashion trend just because it is on sale. But what if instead of succumbing to these impulsive desires, you redirected that money towards a savings goal? Picture this. Every time you resist the urge to buy something unnecessary, you put that amount into a savings account. Over time, this could add up to a significant amount. Not only will this help you build an emergency fund or save for a dream vacation, but it will also give you a sense of satisfaction knowing that you financially prepared for unexpected expenses or future opportunities. So the next time you faced with the choice of spending money on something you need, pause for a moment, visualize your savings goal, and consider what it would mean to reach that target. By consistently making this choice, you'll be amazed at how quickly your savings can grow. In conclusion, understanding the hidden psychology behind spending is crucial for making smarter financial decisions. By recognizing the emotional triggers that drive our spending habits, we can take control of our finances and achieve our long-term goals. Whether it's practicing the 24-hour rule, replacing harmful habits with healthier ones, tracking our emotional triggers, or redirecting our spending towards savings goals, each of these steps can help us build a stronger financial future. Remember, money is a tool. If you let emotions control it, money will disappear. But if you master your habits, money will start working for you. The hidden psychology behind spending is powerful, but so are you. Choose discipline today, and your future self will thank you tomorrow.